The Vostok group of forces assault detachments attacked AFU firepoints using trail motorcycles. UAV operators detected enemy positions. After that, the data was transmitted to assault detachments. Servicemen on trail motorcycles mopped enemy dugouts up by throwing mines and grenades.
Оба водители с власти, закидывайте ТМ-ку и едете обратно. Закидывай гранаты, контроль. Красавчик.
Russian assault troops break through Ukrainian lines in Dnipropetrovsk region. In a bold and coordinated operation, assault troops of the Russian army have successfully broken through Ukrainian defenses on the administrative border of the Dnipropetrovsk region. Footage released from the front lines shows the 41st Assault Regiment of the Center Group executing a rapid and effective push to dislodge Ukrainian forces from a strategic forest belt, marking a significant development in the ongoing hostilities in eastern Ukraine. Russian drone operators provided real-time intelligence and target correction, allowing for highly accurate and sustained artillery bombardment of Ukrainian positions. These strikes were crucial in weakening the defensive line and suppressing Ukrainian resistance before the ground assault began. Following the artillery barrage, Russian assault units advanced and entered the forest belt. The footage captures moments of high-intensity combat as the troops engaged remaining pockets of Ukrainian resistance. Using tactical coordination and overwhelming firepower, the Russian forces swiftly overran the positions. Fierce fighting near Pokrovsk, nasty mass burning of robots and NATO equipment, infantry and artillery of the enemy. A selection of the combat work of the fighters of the Center Group of Forces for the destruction of robotic complexes, military equipment, weapons, infantry and positions of the armed forces of Ukraine during active hostilities in the Pokrovsky direction. The footage shows the burning of NATO armored fighting vehicles, firing points, mortars, infantry, enemy positions, and vehicles. Air defense operations of the Russian Airborne Forces, VDV, from March 1st to present. Based on the infographic data, our Sky Defenders have been most successful in downing the Ukrainian reconnaissance UAV Lelika 100, developed by Deviro, as well as strike hexacopters like Baba Yaga, known in NATO terminology as Vampire. Western-made drones are no exception, though they are shot down less frequently due to limited supply volumes. Enjoy the footage. In total, the Guardians of the Sky have cost the Ukrops $26 million in losses. Fierce fighting near Pokrovsk, nasty mass burning of NATO equipment, infantry and artillery of the enemy. A selection of the combat work of the fighters of the Center Group of Forces on the destruction of robotic complexes, military equipment, weapons, infantry and positions of the armed forces of Ukraine during active hostilities in the Pokrovsky direction. The footage shows the burning of NATO armored fighting vehicles, firing points, mortars, infantry, enemy positions, and vehicles. By Russian Defense Ministry on progress of special military operation. Last night, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out a group strike by high-precision weapons and strike drones at the Ukrainian aviation, missile, armored and shipbuilding industry enterprises in Kiev, command and control posts and locations of the AFU, clusters of weapons and military hardware of the Ukrainian formations as well as infrastructure of military airfields, ammunition and fuel depots. The goal of the strike was achieved. All the assigned targets were engaged. The several groups' units hit clusters of manpower and hardware of 1 heavy mechanized brigade, 2 mechanized brigades, 1 air assault brigade, and 1 assault regiment of the AFU near Malaya Korchakovka, Novonikolayevka, Unikovka, and Novaya Sek, Sumy region. The AFU losses amounted to up to 130 troops, 3 armored fighting vehicles, 2 motor vehicles, and 9 field artillery guns. 2 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Zapad group of forces took more advantageous lines and positions. Strikes were delivered at formations of 2 mechanized brigades, 1 assault brigade of the AFU, and 2 territorial defense brigades near Algovka, Kupiansk, Kharkov region, Yerevan, Yampol, and Kirovsk, Donetsk People's Republic. The AFU losses amounted to more than 210 troops, 1 U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carrier, 1 Canadian-made Senator armored personnel carrier, and 8 pickup trucks. 1 artillery gun, 1 RAK SA-12 MLRS launcher, and 5 ammunition depots were neutralized. Units of the UG group of forces improved the tactical situation along the front line. Manpower and hardware of 3 mechanized brigades, 1 motorized infantry brigade, 1 Aountain assault brigade, and 1 airmobile brigades of the AFU have been hit near Dranovka, Alexandro-Sholtino, Serebryanka, Nelipovka, Katarinovka, Seversk, Chasov Yar, and Konstantinovka, Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost more than 200 troops, 1 Kazakh armored fighting vehicle, 4 motor vehicles, and 2 artillery guns. 2 electronic warfare stations and 3 ammunition depots have been eliminated. Units of the Tsentr group of forces continued advancing into the depth of enemy defenses. Strikes were delivered at formations of 2 mechanized brigades, 1 Jaeger brigade, 2 air assault brigades of the AFU, 1 Marine brigade, and 1 National Guard brigade near Petrovskogo, Novosergeyevka, Krasnoarmeysk, Novopavlovka, Dimitrov, Novokrenka, Udaknoy, and Moravka, Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy losses amounted to more than 550 troops, 6 armored fighting vehicles, to include 1 U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carrier, 6 motor vehicles, 7 field artillery guns, and 1 Buk SAM system launcher. The Vostok group of forces continued advancing to the depth of the enemy's defenses. The group's units inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of 1 mechanized brigade, 1 mountain assault brigade of the AFU, and 1 territorial defense brigade near Voskresenka, Podobnoy, Komar, Donetsk People's Republic, and Malayevka, Dnipropetrovsk region. The AFU losses amounted to up to 190 troops, 1 armored fighting vehicle, 3 motor vehicles, and 2 artillery guns, to include 1 U.S.-made 155mm M198 howitzer. 1 electronic warfare station was destroyed. Units of the Dnepr group of forces hit formations of 1 mechanized brigade, 1 mountain assault brigade, and 2 coastal defense brigades of the AFU close to Novodanilovka, Novoandrievka, Kamenskoye, Pavlovka, Zaporozhye region, Berislav, and Poniatowka, Kherson region. The enemy lost up to 75 troops, 7 motor vehicles, 4 field artillery guns, 4 electronic warfare stations, and 2 ammunition depots. Operational Tactical Aviation. Strike drones and missile troops and artillery of the armed forces of the Russian Federation have engaged temporary deployment areas of AFU units and foreign mercenaries in 151 areas. Air defense systems shot down 2 U.S.-made HIMARS MLRS projectiles, 258 fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles, including 103 of them outside the Special Military Operation Zone. In total, since the beginning of the Special Military Operation, the AFU losses amounted to 663 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 62,725 unmanned aerial vehicles, 611 anti-aircraft missile systems, 23,849 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,572 MLRS combat vehicles, 25,990 field artillery guns and mortars, 36,698 units of special military vehicles,